Hey guys, how's it going? This is Dr. Ben on the Pastoral Care Patient Care channel. Today we're going to do things a little bit differently. I'm actually not going to be focusing on pastoral care, but I'm just going to be using our overarching theme, as you can see on the channel, about health as God intended. This is how God designed the body. So regardless of your religion, language, race, ethnicity, nationality, whatever it is, you were designed the same as I did. Okay, so I might be Chinese, Singaporean, but who might be Indian, or might be an African American, Caucasian, Eurasian, whatever you are, right? You were designed with an intent for you to be functioning with steps in mind. That means there is a design template by which you were designed. Okay, so I'm going to get into the systemic and local influences today, and that was what I ended off on the previous video. So if you haven't watched the previous video, please go watch that. I uploaded that on Monday this week, so please go watch that. Now, today I'm going to dive into this thing, systemic versus local. Now, I'm not talking about systems like cardiovascular systems, like nervous system and stuff, like these different systems. Yes, they are part of the word systems, but I'm really more talking about systemic influences. That means things that happen in your body that actually have a widespread effect. Okay, so if you are not resonating with the word systemic, I want you to look at the word widespread. Okay, it means what are things that are not just a simple needle prick and then blood comes out and then it heals up and your body's fine, right? So now the idea with systemic is that because in this day and age where there's so many health problems, so many health challenges, so many diagnoses, it is worth your time. Maybe you're a patient, right, and you have battled a chronic disease or something like that for so long, and you're looking to anchor your focus, your assets, your time, your resources to getting treatment at a specific spot in your health, right? It is worth your time looking at what came first. So this is the whole idea of being root cause focused, and I believe that this is the time where the healthcare profession needs to start looking at the healthcare the way God designed it to be. That means not wasting the doctor's time, not wasting the patient's time, and giving certainty to the patient, because the patient is the one that we serve, and their outlook on life depends on us. Okay, so I, as your doctor, I'm always striving to ask myself this question when I meet you: what came first, next, and last in your presentation? Okay, so because I'm focused on getting to the root cause. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about, or rather, I talked about this 4 major systemic influences in brevity in the previous video, and I'm just going to get into a little bit of examples and maybe giving you some kind of more relatable concepts for you to understand this. Now, talking about systemic, let me just rehash this again. Systemic, we're looking at firstly pain. Okay, so whether they are chronic or acute, okay, they're probably hidden, okay, and we need to uncover them and fix those. Second one is inflammation. Okay, third is immune system. Okay, fourth is endocrine. Okay, so now, if you're sitting there today and you have, say, gut issues, or maybe you have chronic low back pain, you have shoulder pain, you have all these things, and you're wondering where to even start, a lot of the doctors today and healthcare professionals who treat local problems, nothing wrong with that, okay? Just putting things into perspective for you as a patient, right? They are probably, say, as a chiropractor, like myself, I'm fundamentally trained as a chiropractor, right? And I adjust the low back spine. But if someone comes to me and they have an inflammation problem, and yet they have, say, low back pain, okay, LBP, or they got chronic, say, nerve pain, say nerve pain in finger, okay, very common, right? And these are all localized problems, right? I'm feeling it in a specific spot. Does it go anywhere else? No, it stays there. Low back pain's here, right? That's localized because it's affecting a specific tissue, right, of your body. Maybe it's affecting a ligament, maybe it's affecting a joint, maybe it's affecting a tendon, whatever it is, or a muscle. That's all localized problem. But then the way God designed the body is there are systemic influences, more widespread problems that are affecting the localized issues. Okay, so the challenge that we would face as doctors is for us to tell the patient, to re-educate the patient and say, hey, you might have problems here and here, but understand that these would not have happened if you didn't have a suboptimal pain that could possibly be hidden for a long time. You will not have this if you possibly had some unhealthy inflammation. Maybe you need more omega-3s, maybe you need less omega-6s, maybe you need more antioxidants, maybe you need to get rid of your allergies, maybe you need to get rid of your chemical sensitivity, right? Or maybe you might have an immune system problem, right? Maybe you might have some issues with the way you regulate your T cells, which is your first line of defense, right, of killing an infectious agent that comes into our body. The way God designed us is for us to combat and conquer every single thing that enters our body, which could be a microbial agent like a fungus or parasites or whatever, right? Now, so if your immune system is suboptimal, no doubt you have low back pain. Or maybe you could have an accident, right, that resulted firstly in the low back pain, but maybe you are less likely to heal from low back pain because you have these existing problems. Now, let's look at this real last one. You have nerve pain in your finger, but if you got a hormonal issue that's off, it's gonna result in so much other issues. And because this happen in a hierarchy as well, if you got endocrine issues, you're probably having a suboptimal immune system, poor inflammation, and some chronic pain sources. No wonder your nerve pain cannot heal. Some chiropractors can easily adjust low back pain and it goes away, and some nerve pain can go away really fast, neck pain, wrist pain, whatever it is, that chiropractors typically fix. But some patients just don't get better, and it doesn't make sense for me to adjust the same thing over and over and over and over again, or for your chiropractor to adjust the same thing over and over and over again, because there are other influences that affect these. So I know this is a very sort of a pain-based example, but a lot of people today are scared of pain, right? But I want to tell you that you may have a localized pain, but if you have a systemic source of pain, that means, okay, so let me break this down for a little bit, right? I'm just gonna go to the very first step of a systemic influence. That means what can actually cause you to have more problems like inflammation and immune system and hormonal issues. The very first major systemic influence in your life, it's a hidden source of pain, okay? And this pain, let's talk about a very simplistic layperson concept for you. This is your threshold, okay? Below which it's negligible pain, okay? So I'm just gonna put this word negligible pain. Above which it's significant. Now, when it comes to pain, if it's just a simple, I touched a hot stove and I retrieve my finger and I don't think about it anymore, maybe my finger became a little bit red, there was a local response, right? My brain don't think much about it. And after a while, maybe touching my finger, putting my finger in my earlobe or just rubbing it, right, and it goes away. Why? Because it's negligible. It's something that my brain can go, it's not significant, let's just forget about it, right? Now, imagine if I fell on the stove and I concussed for maybe a minute and my whole arm gets burned. I know that's a really gnarly example, but I just can't help it, right? Because we actually see such cases in the clinic, right? And I fall and I have a 3rd-degree burn. Now, you guys know 3rd degree is way more significant than 2nd degree. 2nd degree is way more significant than 1st degree. Why? Because of the systemic influences. So now, I hope that puts things in perspective for you. But understand that if you are out there and you have some chronic, significant pain sources that are not negligible, okay, and you now have other health issues that are not necessarily painful. So I have many patients who had like ankle sprains, or maybe a car accident, and they go, I was fine right after, I could walk again in 3 days, and then 20 years later, I got a hormonal problem, maybe 10 years later I got migraines, I got these, that. The problem is not that the migraine was the cause of the migraine actually could be traced back to 20 years ago when they first had the whiplash in the car accident. So you can see the way a doctor that thinks what comes first, next and last, who is root cause focused because the way God designed the body is this way, actually gets to the bottom of the problem. So I want to end this video by saying that if you're there, that is sitting there watching this video and you have lost hope, maybe you have forgotten how to, like you just are dejected and you have lost all confidence in doctors. If your doctor has never mentioned this to you, I would like this to be a gift for you. That means look at this as a sobering concept that you were created to function with, and ask yourself this question: have I actually dealt with whatever Dr. Ben has mentioned? And if you haven't, then allocate your time, your asset, your resources to those things, because that will be way more worth your money and your time than all the other stuff that you've tried. Okay, so please, I'm not saying that everything you tried is not right. It probably just wasn't put in order. And this is how we run our practice here in chirogenesis. We employ pastoral care and patient care principles to help someone achieve health as God intended. So just to wrap up again, like we talked about, treating the body, the pain, the disease, based on how God intended, not just the symptoms or just the localized problems. And if you're looking to really get the full-fledged services, how we can treat you, we actually treat you on the 3 pillars of health, the way God designed it. So beyond looking at the body, right, asking what came first, next, and last, we then now look at your soul and look at your spirit. And that is a video that I posted before. So if you want to look at that, please go watch that. But if you're looking at just the body and looking at treating the body, and if you are in chronic pain or some kind of chronic illness and disease, this is your answer, I believe, because this is exactly how God designed it to be, and you can't fault that. All right, so I hope this video blesses you. In the meantime, please like and comment and subscribe if you like this content, because I'll be adding more video. This is a very simple video that I'm making, but there are more videos coming your way. But I hope this blesses you, and I will see you soon. Thank you, guys.